Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day 2 of the masterclass for Scum in 2025. And yes, this time we're getting onto the server at 6 o'clock in the morning. So we've got a lot to do today. As I said, I'm going to keep these videos to an hour. I know the last video was above an hour, but we spent about 15 minutes going over the questions that you guys left in the comments below. Luckily, today we've only got 4 questions, and the first question comes from Ryan, and he asks how to use a compass. So, Ryan, if you don't have a compass on you or you don't have medium survival, holding focus mode is the only way to use your compass, okay? But you need to have a compass. I got a military compass at the police station, which is giving me these detailed coordinates. And if you want to know where focus mode is, you go to controls, and then you go to modes, and then at the bottom it says focus. I've got it on my side mouse button, the second mouse button, and then I've got change camera from third person to first person on my first side mouse button. So just change your focus button, and then you'll be able to hold focus. If you don't see anything at the top, you don't have a compass, you don't have any survival with basic survival. So if you go to intelligence with basic survival, if you've got one slice of the pizza, you will be able to see north only. Now, if you get to medium survival, 2 slices of the pizza, half of that pizza, you're going to get north, west, east, and south. And then, the better compass you get, the more coordinates you have. The way you use the compass is you open up the map. That is north, that is west, that is east, that is south. So let's say you want to go to the trader. It is north, east. Okay, so now you're going to use your compass and you're going to go northeast to go towards the point that you want to go to. The second question, or not question, it's a statement from Ethan, and I appreciate the experienced players or the players that have been with us for a while to make sure I include everything in the masterclass, even things that I usually don't use. So Ethan reminded me about the animal skin jacket, and I feel it's a very, very good thing to include in the masterclass. As you guys can see, we've got the arrows in the quiver, but the arrows are sticking out. And as soon as you use broadhead metal arrows or broadhead carbon arrows, you've got blue sticking out. Even if you're completely camouflaged with military clothing, the blue arrows or the carbon broadhead arrows stick out, as red, and it can give your position away. And the big thing is, I would like the developers to change like the military jacket that you can put over to have more weight, more inventory space. Because at the moment, this is just a quiver, but it holds a lot of weight, 10 kilograms. So the most effective way to use a quiver is to put all your heavy items in the quiver and then put your light items like the arrows in your clothing so that the arrows don't stick out of the quiver and you're more camouflaged. And again, yes, I want a jacket, but the animal skin jacket it doesn't take a lot. It's 1 skin from a puppet, 12 uses of rope, the sewing kit, and a cutting tool. So I only need 12 uses of a rope and 1 puppet skin, and I can make this animal jacket. It's got a lot of heat, but it adds another 9 slots with another 10 kilograms, which is extremely important. So that's what we're going to do right from the start. And then Dean has problems with food and water. He says it's quite difficult for him to find water on the map. And I can understand, like, if you don't explore near the rivers, and you only loot here by the oceans, it is a bit difficult to get water. Of course, one tip is when you're in the southern area, you must eat the cactuses, but then you must cancel the eating if you don't want to get food repulsion. So it's a bit technical. So I'm going to help Dean by making this as easy as possible. So what we're going to do today is I'm not going to use the shotgun right now because the shotgun's going to make a lot of noise. So what I'm rather going to do is put the baseball bat here that we can use the combination of the baseball bat and yeah, the baseball bat and the bow, and we're going to go get some food. Hopefully we don't get attacked by NPCs. So I'm just going to take it slow. And the big thing, Dean, with food and water is that food can give you water as well, specifically potatoes and corn. Okay, I can hear puppets close to me. So we're going to search for potatoes here quickly. Okay, we weren't lucky enough to find any corn or any potatoes. But again, Dean, I want you to go to scum-map.com. Okay, so you're just going to come to the site. I just want to open up the main site here for you that you don't get confused. So you go to scummap.com. You go on to this island. It is the interactive map. Then you go to map filters. And then you go to crops. And then I want you to look for cornfields and potato fields. So we are in this town. And as you can see, okay, with Scum Map, you can zoom in and out. So as you can see, there's a lot of potatoes and corn. There's a lot of potatoes on the outside of the town. So we're going to go look around the outside of the town. But you can get fruit and peaches and apples as well. And all the food gives you water. But because I want to try and get a hiking backpack today, I'm going to cover 3 gas stations that are quite easy to cover. So I'm going to go back to this gas station. Then I'm going to go to that gas station. And then I'm going to go to, sorry. Okay. Sorry, I just don't want to get killed by puppets here. Yeah, I'm going to do 3 gas stations, which is basically in a line for me. Don't know where that other puppet is, but I'm going to try and get out of here. And because of my compass, I know the gas station is southeast. Okay, so I'm going to go southeast and just get out of here for now. So let me just get into a bush here and go back to the map. So yeah, I'm going to cover 3 gas stations quickly to see if I can get a hiking backpack. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I have to play for 4 hours and edit it into an hour for you guys. So we're going to cover that gas station. Then we're going to go to get that gas station. Then we're going to go to that gas station. And the reason I want to end up at this gas station is there's a gun shop here, which is quite nice. I don't want to go to the military point of interest. I want to do a nice loot. The title of this Day 2 Masterclass is basically best looting tactics. I'm going to give you the best looting tactics. And then I'm going to get a lot of food. And then I'm going to show you how the food covers your hunger and your energy. Okay. And then the final thing that I want to explain to you guys is it might look very slow at the moment. Like you might think, yeah, Luthais is taking 4 hours just to have this basic gear on him. But what you must remember is this is the start of the gameplay, of my gameplay. And what I want you to remember is this might seem slow for you because you might think, yeah, if you on a multiplayer server and you die every 15 minutes, then, you know, you're going to struggle your butt off. Not really, because everything snowballs. And I'm going to show you how fast it snowballs in this masterclass. I'm going to help you to see how you fill up your bank account, how you fill up your fame points, how you get to tier 3 quests so that you can get the fame back easily when you die and you lose half your fame. So we're definitely going to focus on the snowball effect in this guide. Okay, so let me try and see if I can get a backpack. And let's cover the food for now. For instance, like I explained, in the desert area, you have to eat cacti, but you have to cancel the eating so that food repulsion doesn't become a problem. But even just this mushroom gives me 73 milliliters of water. So if I eat the mushroom, I must go to health, and then I have to keep an eye on my food repulsion, although this mushroom doesn't give me any food repulsion. But the cacti will give you food repulsion. So 1 cacti is good for you, especially if you search for cacti with very high durability. The durability tells you how much water you're going to get out of the cacti. And as soon as this food repulsion gets too close to the end, then you just cancel it and you wait it out. You don't have to throw the mushroom away, or you don't have to throw the cacti away. Pick up a lot of cacti, and then as soon as your food repulsion goes away, then you eat cacti again, and that's a nice way to sustain your water in the desert area. Okay, here we get military pants from a thin puppet. Okay, and as you can see, the jeans only gives us 6 slots. But the military pants we can repair, but we have to be careful with our uses. So it's going to take 3 uses there. So that's fine. I'm just going to repair these pants. Military pants and a military jacket from a puppet is very, very good at the start. Even though it's 50%, you can see this is filled up. All the slots are filled up in these jeans. But we've got extra space here. Okay, we've got an extra slot. So it's worth it. And we're not going to cut up the jeans because they're low durability. But I mean, you are getting an extra slot. Now you have to weigh the odds of, you have to weigh, like, is it worth it to use those sewing kit uses? Now we're just going to see what we can find over here. There's some shotgun shells. Now we've got some space for the shotgun shells. And we've got slugs in our current shotgun. The hiking backpacks and stuff usually spawn on these shelves or these shelves behind you. That's where they usually are. Here's a car jack. Car jack is worth a bit of money. Nail. Yeah, we can use an extra nail over there. Okay. And now we're going to make that, animal jacket. So we've got the kitchen knife, otherwise we wouldn't have a knife on us. So I'm immediately going to chop up this puppet. So I've got the puppet skin. Now I'm going to chop up these 2 bushes. There are suicide puppets around me, but they're quite far away. And if they get close to me, I'll just shoot them in the chest to blow them up. You never want to be close to a suicide puppet. It can do a lot of damage to you. So we need 2 rope. Not 2, we need 12 uses, but basically 2 rope. And I don't want it to use the fishing line because I can maybe get more fishing line or thread, and then I can make another sewing kit that will be very, 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 very important. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I should have 10 right now to craft 2 rope. Okay, there I've got the 2 rope. But I think I've got too little sewing kit uses on me. I think I've got too little sewing, no, only 1 use. Oh, the skin. Where is the skin? There's the skin. Oh, it needs to be an animal skin. Sorry, guys. It needs to be an animal skin. So it's not extremely easy. You're going to have to hunt an animal, which is a little bit complicated. There is an exploit, which I'm not going to use exploits, okay? But there is an exploit where you can craft this animal skin quiver with the puppet skin, and then when you uncraft it, you can get an animal skin, okay? But that's not realistic. It's not immersive. So I'm not going to do it. But if you really, 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 really want this jacket early, craft this animal skin quiver, uncraft it, and then you will get an animal skin and you can make the jacket. Like I say, with suicide puppets, just make sure they're far away, shoot them in the chest, and get rid of them. Okay, we definitely need to make more arrows. Okay, as you're running through the forest, you'll run into various plants, strawberries, mushrooms, various things. But this is not going to help you with your exhaustion. A little bit, but it's not really exhaustion. As you can see, each of these strawberries give me 81 milliliters of water, some carbs, and some fat, okay? At the moment, I've got 0 intake on energy, 0 intake on water. Now, if I just put my bow away, because apparently it does want to eat if you've got something in your hands, and I eat this, it's giving me 900 calories per hour on energy, 960 milliliters per hour on water, okay? So this can sustain you. It's not going to help your exhaustion a lot, but it can sustain you as you're running through the forest. So look out for these things. That's why I like farmlands, because farmlands have got various things, you know, like watermelons, various things. Like I say, this is a little farm place. It had corn outside. I got 2 corn from it. There were cucumber in the little greenhouse. And then in these barrels, you can find grapes, okay, which can sustain you as well, which is very, 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 very nice. And I'm collecting feathers as I'm going along, because I'd like to use better arrows at some point. And these rubber boots are better than the rubber boots that I've been repairing. So that's great. Nah, I'm not crazy about eating seeds. But like I say, this farm, this little farm stead was really, really nice. And if I hear an animal, if I hear a bear, a wolf, anything, I'm going to go for it. Actually, I hope I run into a wolf or a bear, because they're not going to ignore me. Like, you don't have to hunt, you know, you don't have to follow a bear or a wolf's trail. They usually attack you. And that's basically what I'm looking for at the moment. Going down this road. And now I'm going to quickly cook the food. So let's just go through that process quickly. And this is where you solve all your problems with energy and exhaustion and food and water. Like you can see, I'm on 20% energy. 20% energy. Okay. So now I'm going to cut down this bush. Now I go to base building. And has the fires got a shortcut? Is there a shortcut for the flames? Yeah, you can just go to the utilities and use the improvised fireplace. Put the fireplace down. It needs 4 sticks, which I've got around me. And I think I've got gunpowder. The reason I picked up gunpowder is for this specific reason. Yeah, it uses the gunpowder. Or you can just craft tinder to fuel the fire. Okay, but we don't need tinder at this moment. Now I need to light the fire, but apparently I don't have a lighter. So again, you can just go to your items, currently craftable, and then you can see a fire drill only needs 2 small sticks and a cutting tool. So we're going to make a fire drill quickly. Now with the fire drill in our vicinity, we can light the fire. Now we go to skewers, we go to vegetable skewers, we go add recipe, and we're going to put in the two corn. And we're going to put okay, we can't use the cucumber, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So we're going to put in the bolitas, and that's it. Only the green ingredients are necessary. All of these are extras. We're going to get salt and pepper at some point, but we've got a little bit of salt on us, and now we're going to cook it. And this is going to help us a ton with exhaustion. And now while we're busy, we can eat some grapes. The grapes are nice, but you can see the cucumber is more for water. Yes, it gives you 10 carbs, but look at the water. 271 grams of milliliters of water. So the cucumbers are mainly for water, okay? Like 2 of these is the equivalent of a 500 milliliter water bottle. Actually, it's got more than a 500 milliliter water bottle, but these are also really, really good for water. So I'm just going to eat the grapes now. And the reason I'm going to eat quite a bit is because I'm going to keep running. And running is going to use carbs and stuff like that. So now I'll just go back here. I'm going to wait for this bar to go green. And as you can see now, with the grapes, I'm gaining energy and I'm gaining water. But while I'm running around, I'm probably going to use about 500 calories per hour. Okay, but I'm taking care of myself, as you can see with my vitamins and minerals. We've already gained 5,700 points in dexterity, not a lot in constitution, and not a lot in strength. But that's because we're not heavy, you know. Once we have a lot of weight on us, That will improve. I'm not going to take the fire drill. I can always get a lighter later. So we've got a good source of water there if we need water. Now the skewer is done. Now this is very, 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 very important. If you look at this, that is quite high with exhaustion. That's 1.5 points on exhaustion. You can see there at the bottom, recovery bonus is 1.5 stamina units. The strawberries was only 0.8, but look at this. The vegetable skewer is 10 stamina units. Okay, it recovers 10 stamina units for you, which is really, really good. Very little fat, 13 grams of protein, 45 grams of carbs per use. So if I eat this now, you can see my exhaustion is recovering slowly because I'm like recovering, because of the other food that I've eaten, I'm recovering 11 stamina units per hour. Okay, between 11 and 15 stamina units per hour, but that's going to take long. Now watch what happens as soon as I'm done with this vegetable skewer. 1.9, 1.5 stamina units a minute, okay, which adds up to about 90 stamina units an hour. So we just went from 15 stamina units an hour to roughly 90 stamina units an hour per hour. And look how fast our exhaustion is recovering now. There it's gone, okay? And that's the importance of skewers. Gets rid of everything else, and look at that intake rate of the water. So it's recovering my energy and my water. Okay, so I don't need to drink fresh water. I'll just put this out so I don't burn down the forest, keep on immersing myself. And I'm not going to loot this town right now, guys, because I don't have loot space. So loot space is a problem. I can loot it to see if I can get more thread, you know, maybe find some more thread, maybe make another sewing kit. But I'm going to run through the forest to this gas station because I'm actually looking for an animal at the moment. You know, if I can, I mean, I'm carrying 2 uses, you know, 20 uses of rope on me. So I'm actually looking for an animal now, and that's what I'm going to aim for. Now, we spoke about the cacti, but never ignore these plants. These are also, there's a lot of things in the world that will help you. Now, look at this ramson. Very little protein, very little carbs. You're not eating this thing for the protein and the carbs, but it gives you water, okay? If you pick up like 5 of these, it's going to give you almost 200 milliliters of water, okay? So again, some just sustaining. There's a lot of things that can sustain you through your journey. Not fix the problem completely, but sustain you so that food and water doesn't become a problem. Right here, we've got a big mushroom, okay? A Lycoperdon gigantea. This is 6 grams of protein, 6 grams of carbs, very little fat, and a ton of water. So this can sustain you as well, but this is a very good example of what I said about the cacti or the cactuses in the desert area. If I eat this, then I'm going to get food repulsion. And I have to stop eating before this food repulsion hits max. Otherwise, I'm going to throw everything up that I've got in my stomach. So I have to click there. Okay, I have to click on the circle in the middle to stop it. And now it's going to take a long time to recover the food repulsion. But I can carry this on me and just, you know, keep eating it. Look at that. Look at the intake rate of both things. So again, there's a lot of things that can sustain you. And that's where, like, you know, your Bear Grylls skills comes in to sustain yourself through the wild. Now, at the moment I'm hunting, guys, you guys can see I'm in the forest. The longer you stay in the forest, you're going to run into an animal at some point. Okay. And I like to use, you know, craft a jacket without using the exploit to show you guys. But we are very close to the gas station, but that doesn't mean I'm going to ignore the farm. Okay. The farm, you can see there's a greenhouse over there. I've got the shotgun with me. The shotgun has got slugs in it if poop hits the fan. Okay, or I could have crafted a rifle. A rifle is very, very easy to craft. So I could have used the shotgun shells already by just crafting a rifle. Okay. Rifle is 1 rope, 2 little logs. If you cut down a bush, you get 2 of these little logs, 4 scrap metal, 2 bolts, and a cutting tool. Okay, so I could have already had a rifle on me, but I'm not going to ignore the farm, any farm. Look at the 2 greenhouses. There's a lot of food at the farms, a lot of feathers, a lot of building materials. I could get lucky with some thread or fishing line, but I have to be careful because there could be NPCs. So I'm going to use the trees. Oh, and then the other tip is when you build a base, mushrooms don't spawn randomly. All the mushrooms, the Luthais mushrooms, all the healthy mushrooms that I showed you guys, they always respawn at the same spot. So when you build a base, look at where the mushrooms spawn, take note of where they spawn, and then you can just keep on fetching them at that specific location. Okay, so I'm just going to loot the farm now, and I'm going to keep looking for an animal. And I'll let you guys know if I run into any NPCs. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, yellow screwdrivers spawn in random loot locations. Farmlands, little farm settlements are very, very safe places. And if you keep surviving, keep immersing yourself, you're going to get lucky at some point. Okay? 20 screwdriver uses is priceless. Absolutely priceless. And that's why I love farmlands. I don't have to do dangerous things. I don't have to, loot a cargo drop. I can find really, really good loot. Just staying safe. Do I need to loot at least the police station to be able to defend myself? Yes, but there's nothing rushing me to go to the most dangerous points of interest, get geared fast, because then I'm missing the purpose of a survival game. And the purpose of a survival game is to survive. Look at this. Just look at this. A 10 out of 10, an 84% durability smartphone. Absolutely priceless. We can sell that thing. Okay? Yes, it's funny. Ha ha ha. You picked up a dildo. But you can sell it. And look at the shoes, the rubber boots. Our feet aren't getting wet at all. Our socks are dry and our shoes are dry because we're wearing the rubber boots. Okay? And then we've got nice carbs, nice source of carbs here as well. And it's going to fill up our inventory space, but I mean, let's take it while we can. And maybe, maybe we find a good jacket. But like I say, immerse yourself. Take it slow. Breathe. Just breathe. Okay? If you just search military, and there we find a cell phone. I mean, come on. Come on, Like, let's do this. Let's do this. There we can start doing quests now. We found the mobile phone. Absolutely excellent. Excellent run, and that's why I love farmlands. And in farmlands, you get a lot of items for base building. Okay? A lot of items for base building. You get fertilizer, you get pesticide, you get wheels that you can go and sell. Hiking boots. I love hiking boots, but according to me, it's only construction boots and military boots that don't get wet. So let's test it. Let's go outside in the rain with our hiking boots. There, you see, the hiking boots are getting wet immediately. So it's only rubber. It's only rubber boots and military boots that don't get wet. Okay? Knowledge is power. Oh, and you see there's seeds, cucumber seeds for farming and stuff. And I'll give you guys a nice way to use a ladder. Okay? A lot of people struggle with ladders. So what you do with the ladder is if you come up, just make sure half your body is at least above the floor that you're going to. Point in that direction or in this direction and just press F. Okay, and then you'll exit in that direction, instead of just climbing the ladder to the top. So again, we climb the ladder, we get our body mostly halfway above, and then we exit the ladder with F. Okay, so there's a nice bonus tip for you. It's gonna fall on here so I don't hurt my legs. And I'm gonna keep on with my wonderful journey. Nice. Still at the farm, we found a nice Kodiak bow. Because we've got medium archery, we can definitely use the Kodiak bow. So we just upgraded our bow. Pipe is very, very useful. You can just go on examine. Okay, it's not there. You can always go on examine and just clear that list. So we can, we can make a grenade launcher with this pipe. We can make a flamethrower with a pipe. We can make an improvised scope with a pipe. We can make pipe bombs. And it counts as a blunt tool for most of these things as well. So pipe is very, very useful. But again, we don't have the inventory space. But it's good to know these things as we're searching. And we're going to craft better arrows right about now. Right about now. Although I think I need a toolbox. I think I need a toolbox. Metal tipped? No. I only need... Yeah, okay. We don't need a toolbox. So, let's go make better arrows quickly. We only need 2 scrap metal. And then we get a pistol holster. What a bonus. We only need 2 scrap metal, and I'll explain to you guys why. Here's a working oven. Again, at a farm, a working oven. So if we want to, like, bake cake and bread and stuff later, this is very, very important to remember. I'm actually going to make a note for myself. Use this oven at the farm. And like I say, we only need 2 scrap metal. 2 scrap metal. I'm just going to drop this. 2 scrap metal. Okay. I think I know why I need the toolbox. Yeah, I need the toolbox. Each scrap metal with a toolbox is going to give you 6 uses of metal tips. So okay, we need a toolbox. We'll find that later. Looky up there, ladies and gentlemen. Looky up there. Now, I found wire with 15 uses, so I dropped the 2 rope because we know we only need 12 uses for the jacket. But there's the thread, and now we can make another improvised sewing kit. Farmlands. Okay, we're coming up on a gas station that's fairly dangerous, guys. Like, this gas station isn't very dangerous. Not a lot of people go there. But this gas station is dangerous. It's close to a military point of interest. It's close to a town. It's on a main road. Very, very dangerous gas station, this. This gas station here, also quite dangerous because it's near a lot of places that can get looted. But again, we're going to take our time. And then if we run into NPCs with guns, I'm going to switch to my shotgun. But if I switch to the shotgun, because I don't have a suppressor, I'm probably going to spawn a horde. Well, I'll rather spawn a horde than die. Okay, but what I want to do is get onto a roof. There I see a puppet in the distance, which is a good sign. There's a lot of puppets. So if NPCs spawn inside that gas station, they're probably going to shoot at the puppets first, which is a good sign. But like, if I have to shoot the shotgun because the NPCs are like tier 3 or tier 4 and they're going to kill me, I have to kill them as fast as possible and then get onto high ground. And a roof is a good place to protect yourself against a horde. Okay, these food shops, really, really good for bobby pins. There's puppets at the back, there's puppets at the front. I feel pretty safe that if NPCs spawn, they're going to shoot the puppets first. So I don't actually want to alert the puppets. I've got no stamina at the moment. So what is a safer way? A safer way is just jumping onto this. Okay, this is always a safe way. And now we can just run and jump onto the roof, and now we're safe. Okay? Don't complicate things for yourself. Remember how you get onto a roof very, very quickly. Because if you spawn a horde, things can go wrong very, 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 very quickly. Let's quickly see if we're going to find the hiking backpack. I've never found anything in here. But only way you know if they've added new loot spawn points is if you explore the new loot spawn points. Okay, there's a little bit more ammo. And we can actually sell these. We can actually sell these. So, yeah, if we take that, the floaters out of the box, we can sell them one by one. No hiking backpack yet. I'm just going to search about 3. I'm just going to search about, okay, that is money. That is money. A Rager alternator is very, very, very good money. I really wish I had the animal skin thing right now. Scissors aren't a must. The lighter isn't a must. The potato isn't a must. That is a quest item. I want to keep that. 2 uses. 1 use of a screwdriver isn't a must. So there we go. You get the Rager alternator, which is really, really good money. And just by searching everything, we have collected like 470 bucks. Just by immersing ourselves and searching properly. So now we're going to go to the last gas station, which is over there. And then we're going to finalize day 2 with specific loot locations. I can actually do it here. I can actually do it here. But I want to finalize it, so I'm going to go there. Very exciting moment that's going to happen right now, guys, with the DLC. If you've got the supporter pack 1 and 2, every time you die and you poop, you're going to poop out an item. So we're going to take a poop quickly. I think this is our first poop that we've done so far. So we're going to poop because we need to pee and poop. But when you poop, you'll do both at the same time. But the first time you poop, if you've got the supporter pack 1 and 2, after you've died, like you have to die and then you'll poop out something once. And then you have to die again and poop out something. But this is our first life. And we should poop out something. There we go. We just pooped out a 15 out of 15 use thread. That's the best poop I've had in a while. That is the best poop I've had in a while. So that's something nice. That's support. That's what you call a supporter pack. A present pocket. Let's go. Here we go, guys. This is literally going to be the last gas station that I'm going to search. I like searching gas stations like 5 times, and that's about it for me. Gonna get into a bush. Yeah, I see a puppet inside and outside. That's good. If there were NPCs, I would have run through the bushes. That's how you lose. Like, if NPCs start shooting at you, just run through the bushes and get away. Yeah. If you think you're going to die, run through the bushes and get away. Very, very easy. And I would have, like, if one of these puppets gives me a jacket, I'm going to take the jacket. No doubt about it. And there's the toolbox. 2 toolboxes. Glory, glory. Okay, so now I need the 2 scrap metal. I'll take the 2 scrap metal. And now I can craft this, which takes toolbox uses and scrap metal, but I'll be able to craft 12 metal tips right now. So I'm going to say, keep crafting. There's 6 metal tips. There's 12 metal tips. Can repair the armor. And now I'm going to craft 12 metal arrows. 12 metal tipped wooden arrows because of the feathers and the metal tips and the sticks. Okay? The small sticks, the feathers, the metal tips, and a cutting tool. You can make stone-tipped arrows as well, guys. And I don't think the stone tips need a toolbox. It's a little bit better, but for me, I go from wooden arrows, where it's easy to level up archery because I'm hitting the puppet a lot, to metal-tipped arrows. I always skip the stone-tipped arrows. It just doesn't make a big enough difference for me. But if you want to upgrade arrows fast and you can't find a toolbox, you can always use the stone tips. And then I go and buy. You know, as soon as I get to 50 fame, I go to the trader and I go to the armorer and buy broadhead metal arrows. The broadhead carbon arrows takes 100 fame, but the broadhead metal arrows only takes 50 fame. And these do quite a bit more damage. Okay, it will definitely make a difference when you're facing NPCs. It does more damage. Always just checking if they've got a jacket or something. Okay, there's a puppet here. That's why we've got a bat. To sort out close range problems. And there we find a Bayra for block 21. Unfortunately, we don't have 45 ammo. But it's fine. Yeah, we've still got a pistol. And that's a quest item. That is a quest item. So I really, really like it. We're going to leave the metal arrows. The metal arrows are, of course, better than the crafted arrows. But I'm happy for now. And that's it. We're not going to look for a hiking backpack anymore. My target is 20 fame. As soon as I hit 20 fame, I want to try and get items. I feel I can get enough items. There we've got a knife sheath, which is nice. Just repair the sheath. So I could put the knife in there and have 2 extra inventory slots. As soon as I've got 20 fame and I've got this crafted backpack, I feel I can get enough items to do 3 tier 1 quests at the armorer. No, at the general goods trader. See, there's pants. You'll find something at some point. So that's what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to loot. I'm going to finalize this guide with loot tactics when you loot a town. So I've already established that gas stations is a good place to start. I've already shown you the value of farmlands. Now I want you to focus on certain things when you loot a town. We're not looking for threat anymore. We're moving up to level 2 loot tactics now. So now you're going to start focusing on certain things in a town. And this is a great town to show you what I mean. We're probably going to run into NPCs, but I'm ready for that. But for now, I want to make sure that if I go to the trader, I've got a very, very good chance of doing all the quests. And with all the cooking food, guys, I've got no exhaustion. That cooked food is in my system all the time. And you can play like this forever. You're never going to struggle with exhaustion if you focus on food first, like I do. But let's go to the quest now. I'm going to leave the link down in the description below, in the comment section. I'm going to leave the link for you guys so that you guys can look at what quests you're going to need. Okay, so at the General Goods Trader, Sexy Shorts is a quest. Then we need the cell phone, otherwise we can't do quests. But the Sexy Shorts is a quest. The 10 bobby pins is a quest. Metal Needle is a quest. So we've got 3 so far, 3 possible quests. Okay? And that's about it. We're relying on getting 3 quests, which is a bit of a gamble. It's a bit of a gamble, but let's just go look quickly. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we come to the loot tactics when you've progressed to where I've progressed now. If you didn't get lucky with a hiking backpack, you can still find an assault backpack or a hiking backpack in a town, but we're not relying on luck. I'm going to sell the shotgun on purpose because maybe you guys weren't lucky with getting a red screwdriver. So we're going to cover all the basics. But this is the town. All you do to teleport, I'm in single player again. Okay? Again, I'm not on my server. We always go to single player, just create a random character, type in map, their hash map teleport, enter. Okay? Then we open up the map and then we click. We've got this thing. And then we click over there to get here. You guys can see I'm not, I'm not on the multiplayer server. So when I enter this town, I'm not going to loot the entire town. I know there's an NPC spawn point here. When you come here, NPCs will spawn in this garage. Okay? So when you come over here, usually when I get to this little barn over here, NPCs will spawn over there. And then sometimes when you come into this building over here, NPCs will spawn here in front of you. I'm not sure where they come out, but they'll spawn in here. So be very, very careful of NPCs. NPCs can also spawn on the outside, like drifters can spawn on the outside over here. They've shot me in the back when I've exited the town there. But what we are focusing on now is garages, okay? We want to look for batteries and soap and stuff like that. We can go into bathrooms quickly just to look for soap. Okay, we can quickly just scan the bathrooms to see if we can get some soap. You see, there's a single player. I'm not going to find a screwdriver there because there's not the server, there's not the masterclass server. But it's nice to see the items that are outside. So you can go into the bathroom, see if you can find some soap here. I don't see soap at the moment, but I mean, you can, but the focus is garages. Okay. And then this over here can give you toolboxes. This is a vehicle repair shop. Very, very, very important. It can give you screwdrivers, vehicle repair kits, toolboxes, various loot. Various loot. Very, very good place. That's why I like this town. This town's got almost everything that you need to focus on. Usually to get to a vehicle repair shop, you need to take a major risk. Okay, now this isn't easy, but I mean, it's not a major risk. So I'm searching all the garages. I'm searching the vehicle repair shop. I usually don't go into the clothing store. The clothing stores have been nerfed over time. Actually, there is quite a bit of clothing in here, which is surprising. So if you need rags, You can always come in here and get some clothing and cut it up, or maybe you're lucky and you find a jacket. You know, like you could find a jacket in here, but not something that I'm going to focus on. Police station, extremely important. Extremely, extremely important. Okay, especially if you've got 8 screwdrivers. Most police stations only have 8 lockers. 1, 2 at this side of the police station, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 at the bottom. And then if you go up to the second floor, then you're going to find the 7th and the 8th locker. Okay, very good to open this up. You can find assault backpacks in here and various loot in the lockers. So loot the entire police station. This is where I found the military compass, which was really, 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 really good. And be careful for the church. Churches are where NPCs can spawn. Search all the garages. Remember, we're looking for batteries. Search all the workshops. And then it won't be a bad idea going through food stores. So here's another garage over here. And I'm just going to look for a food. This here is a food store. Okay. This double-story building. You can get bobby pins in here as well. You can find blue batteries in here. You can find food up here in various loot. So don't ignore the food stores. Okay. Here's another workshop. Yeah, where you can find blue batteries and stuff. This place is quite nice. You can see it's got loot here. Got a little bit of loot here. Nothing special. So, yeah. Basically, the list that I made is police station. I've shown you guys the police station. The second thing on my list is a pharmacy. I'm sure this town has a pharmacy. There's a market. We can get a lot of loot at the market. This is really, really nice place. This town has got various loot locations that I like a lot. It's definitely got a pharmacy. So that's police station, pharmacy. A pharmacy can give you bandages, which will help you to equalize your wounds faster. It can give you metal scissors to cut, to cut up rags faster. It can give you soap, and it can give you medical mask, but the mask is for the medical trader. But I mean, it can give you soap and stuff like that, and vitamins and antibiotics and stuff that you can sell. This is a bar, not very, very important. So police station, pharmacy, garages, workshops, food shops. We've already covered gas station. And then there's like storage units. Now, I don't think this town has got a storage unit. No, it doesn't have a storage unit. The school is very, very important as well. A storage unit is a big building with a bunch of boxes. Okay. A big concrete building with a bunch of boxes. You guys see me looted. You go in with the double doors, like at the brick factory. There are storage units. You go in with a double door. There's various racks, and then it's got a bunch of little brown boxes, that can give you nice base building material and stuff. Now, this town has got a lot of different loot, but the best thing about this town is the gun shop. There aren't a lot of towns with gun shops in them, okay? So this is a nice bonus. Look at that. There's a shirt. Like, we can't loot stuff, but what is this? That's, we can open this container. I never knew you can open up the container. I'm not sure what that is. There's a mask. There's money. There's pants. There's fishing line. There's, it could have been like loot space. The gun shop is nice. You can find a pistol. You can find pistols and stuff in here, which is very, very nice. And that's why I like this town. But that's what I'm basically going to loot. And that's what I focus on, guys. That's what I focus on. And then I try and get out. I don't want to spend too much time in here because going through every workshop takes time. Like here's a chainsaw. You can sell a chainsaw for $1,000. Now I don't have loot space, so I'm just going to focus on those quest items. I'm not even going to open up the police station lockers because finding a key card now is going to be pretty useless for me. Unless I get a key card for like a secret bunker, secret bunker won't be too bad, but then I have to run across the map for nothing. So please focus on police stations, pharmacies, garages, workshops, food shops, gas stations, warehouses, And then, we have to get a hiking backpack. Again, I'm going to aim for a jacket. I'm going to kill various puppets, get that jacket, try and get the toolbox, try and get the 3 soap, try and get the 2 blue batteries. And then I'm going to go to the C2 trader to do the 3 quests that will give me the 35 fame that I need to buy a hiking backpack. And then we can start snowballing. Because as soon as I've got 35 fame, I can buy the hiking backpack. I can buy the sporen bag, which is a way, way bigger, fanny pack, way bigger than the fanny pack that I'm wearing right now. So again, I can get the hiking backpack. I can get the sporen bag. I can get a tactical vest. I can possibly buy a military jacket. Okay, and then I can start looting, and then I can focus on my base location, because I want to put down the flag. Because when you've got a hiking backpack, you can put a lot of skins. Like as soon as I've got a hiking backpack, I can craft a bulletproof vest, because it's going to be very easy to put the skins in my hiking backpack. I can collect the 10 rags that I need for the flag. I can take the 10 scrap metal that I need for the flag. Then I can place the flag down, craft the chest, put all the items in the chest, hide the chest or bury the chest. And then, but I can use drone mode to look for a great base location that I'm going to like. Okay. But then we're going to focus on base location, and then we are going to farm quest items, focus on quest items. So if we go to the quest items again, okay, if we go to the quest items, I am just going to farm tier 1 items. I'm not going to farm duct tape. I'm going to get soap. I'm not going to really focus on on chocolate candies. I'm going to try and get some sewing kits. I'm going to farm needles. I'm going to farm a small toolbox. I'm going to farm the blue batteries. I'm going to farm the glue. I'm going to farm the bobby pins. I'm going to try and get a grinding stone, which I can get from a farm. I'm going to try and get more sexy shorts. Okay. And then, of course, the armorer is going to open up. Then I'm going to try and farm. I've got the block 21, but I'm going to try and get a block. I'm going to try and get an M9 pistol. I'm going to try and get an M9 flashlight. Okay. And yeah, then I'm probably going to have to kill. Like, I just have to do 3 quests at each place to open up the next trader. So the ammo boxes is very difficult. But I mean, I could do the block 21 quest. I could do the M9 quest if I get the M9. That's why the police station is useful, because you can still find a flashlight and a pistol, even though you're not opening up the lockers. And then I have to kill a few puppets. And then I have to start farming I have to start thinking about the mechanic as well. So I have to start thinking about a car jack. So now that I know a car jack is a tier 1 quest, maybe I'm not going to sell it, because I'm going to get 5 fame and $700 to hand it in. Scrap metal is very easy. Car battery cables, brake oil, the car repair kit. This town has got a vehicle repair shop where I can get the car repair kit, and then the wrench pipe, oil filter. And then usually you can disable the televisions at the trader. And then the reason I'm looking at pharmacies is because it's very easy to get the items that you need for the tier 1 quest once you've opened up the medical trader, because the pharmacies can give you a painkiller blister or antibiotic blister or a potassium blister or a vitamin blister or a charcoal blister. I've already got a charcoal blister. 3 rags, 4 wooden sticks, and alcohol, that takes up a little bit too much space. I can take it, don't really want to do the church. Don't really want to check the fountains. I want to focus on like 5 disposable masks, a hospital shirt and hospital pants. I'm not going to waste medical gloves on a quest. It's more important. Emergency bandages that I can get at the pharmacies, and all the blisters. And then once I've opened up all the traders, then I want to do 6 tier 1 quests at the general goods trader, the armorer, the mechanic, and the medic. And after I've done the 6 tier 1 quests, then tier 2 quests are going to open up. And then I start farming the tier 2 quests at all the, at the C2 trader. And once I've done 12 tier 2 quests at all the traders, then I go to tier 3. Once I've opened up tier 3, once I've done 12 tier 2 quests at the C2 trader, then I start from scratch, but I go to a different trader. And I start at tier 1 again, do 12 tier 2s, until I'm at tier 3 at the next trader, until I've opened up tier 3 quests at all 4 traders. And that is going to change my experience immensely. It's going to make it way, way easier for me to get the fame back if I die a lot, get the money back, get really, really cool items. Like you can buy an M82 if you do a tier 3 armor request. All the guns that I don't want to use, I can hand them in for a lot of money. Like at the mechanic, tier 2 quest. If I open up the tier 3 quests at the mechanic, look there, $5,000 for the Ranger alternator that I picked up, plus 20 fame. And that's where the snowballing comes into effect. Filling up our bank account with money, buying some gold, for when we get raided, building our base, hiding loot, collecting loot, doing quests, just filling up our bank account, getting a gold card as fast as possible. Every time we leave the trader, we put our pin in wrong twice at the bank, so that if someone steals our gold card, they've only got one chance out of 100 combinations, to get our money. But we can always keep our gold card in our vehicle. That it's easier to die than for someone to steal your car. You're going to die a lot more than the amount of times that someone's going to steal your vehicle. So always keep your gold card in your vehicle to minimize, those chances. If you've got the ultimate DLC, then you can just destroy the gold card because you can get a gold card for free. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to focus on the basics, do the grind, and not focus on the DLCs too much. I just pooped, something for you guys because the prison pocket is quite fun. So I hope you had a smile with that. And maybe it motivates you to support the game. So that's it for day 2, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor and click that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet and you want to learn everything about Scum, click the subscribe button. We're going to do everything in this masterclass. I'm really enjoying myself. Truly, 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 I'm enjoying myself. The fact that I don't have to worry about PvP and I'm just immersing myself in this world, is absolutely fantastic. So I'm really, really immersing myself. And here, this Diamond Hammer person in my community, did a lot of stuff here. So 3 tier 1 missions to unlock the next trader, 6 tier 1 missions to unlock tier 2, 12 tier 2 missions to unlock tier 3. So what I'm basically going to do now is loot the town, see what I can find, try and not die. If I run into NPCs, I'm literally going to go around the left and I'll end the video. If I run into NPCs, I'll just end the video where I'm killing the NPCs. And then on day 3, I'll see you guys at the trader, okay? Where we can actually start snowballing. I'm probably going to call it the snowball effect. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, since it's the masterclass, I don't like telling you guys to just go to metal arrows because a lot of people like the stone-tipped arrows for the clear reason that you don't need a toolbox to craft the stone tip, so you can upgrade your arrows just with feathers, you know, and stones and a blunt tool. We know a blunt tool, you just take a log, cut up the log, and get the club as a blunt tool, and then you can craft the stone-tipped arrows very, very, very easily. So rather than telling you guys the metal arrows is the best, let's do a quick test. So we've got a wooden arrow, stone-tipped arrow, metal-tipped arrow, metal arrow, carbon arrow, broad-edge metal arrow, broad-edge carbon arrow. Okay, I'm going to shoot Trinity at the exact distance so that she doesn't move, and she's just going to heal herself with Phoenix Tears. And I'm going to shoot her in the chest every single time. Trinity, press tab for me, then go to health and keep your health bar open. Okay, go to hold your mouse over untreated. And as soon as I hit you, tell me how much damage it did. Okay? Okay. How much damage?
No, I don't see an untreated. Where would I see the untreated?
At health.
I'm looking at health, but I'm only seeing a C1 that's in stabilization.
Yeah, but okay, now tell me how much damage is in that stabilization.
45 damage is 45.1.
45 damage. Okay, so wooden arrow is 45. Okay, so next arrow is a stone-tipped arrow. Okay, I've got it. You guys can see it's got a stone tip. She's going to look at her health bar or health section. First one was 45. Okay, roughly 45. Here comes the stone-tipped one. How much?
59.
59.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's quite an increase, guys. From 45 to 59. That's like, yeah, that's like, no, that's about a 25% increase. Close to 25% increase. Okay, so take the Phoenix Tears, lie down. That is about 25%, eh? From 45 to 60 is about 25%, yeah. 15 goes to 45 3 times, 15 goes to 64 times. Yeah, so it's about 25%. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, now we've got the metal tipped arrow, guys. Let's see.
$63.9.
Okay, 64.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. The stone-tipped arrows are way easier. And there's a 25% difference in damage from wooden to stone, but there's only like 59 damage to 64 damage. Yeah, that's 8% maybe? Maybe 8% difference. Okay? So, I'm wrong. Go for the... If you can make the metal tip, but since you need a toolbox and you need more inventory space, I feel looting farms and getting feathers is just way easier, you know, and then you chop down a tree, craft a club, make the stone tips. Yeah, you can go to stone tipped arrows really, really quickly. And I'm quite disappointed that there isn't a major damage difference. So, yeah, that's how we learn. I always just looked at how fast I was killing puppets, and I felt like the metal arrows are better. Of course, they're better, but maybe that 8% made a huge difference with the puppet's HP, that it felt better. You know, like maybe the 8% difference from stone to metal was the difference between a puppet taking 3 arrows instead of 4 arrows, you know, or 2 arrows instead of 3 arrows. But that's just based on their HP. But if you're looking at pure damage output, the stone-tipped arrows wins. So we're learning something. Now comes the big difference. Okay, we've got a normal metal arrow here, which Trinity usually just goes and gets at the castles. She uses wooden arrows, and then she basically loots. So most people are just going to loot the castle for these kind of arrows. So let's see how much damage this metal original arrow does.
Okay, that's 70.7.
Okay, 71. Okay, that is 7. It's about 10% more. 10% more. But it's still 18% more than the stone. So if the stone arrow is the meta craftable arrow, then yeah, the metal arrow is still, the arrows that you find is still way, way, way better. Okay, let's hope this does a lot of damage. Okay, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. Let's get the Phoenix Tears over here. Take it in hand. Inject. What is your constitution on, Trinity?
Let's see. It's on 3.0.
Okay, so that's 100. That does more than 100 damage, guys. That does more than 100 damage. Okay, so 100 plus. 100 plus. Which equals almost 30%. Almost 30% more than a normal arrow. And that's why we take broadhead arrows into an abandoned bunker to kill the razors faster. So very, very happy with that result. Very, very happy with that result. To be honest with you guys, if I find arrows easily, if I can buy arrows easily, then I'm going to buy them. But if I don't want to buy them, I'm just going to go from stone-tipped arrows. I'm going to start with wooden, upgrade to stone-tipped, and then go to carbon. Because from the stone-tipped arrows to the carbon arrows, like from the wooden arrow to the stone-tipped arrow, I get 25% more damage. But then from the stone-tipped arrow to the broadhead arrow, I'm getting like 100% more damage, like twice as much damage. So very, very, very useful. Now, unfortunately, this arrow is probably going to kill her as well. But we can do a small little test. So we know this arrow is going to kill her. But what if we shoot her? Let's just get a metal broadhead tip here. Okay. So we're going to shoot her in the leg. How much is that?
23.4.
73.
No, 93.
93.
0.4.
Okay. That's a lot of damage, guys. That's a lot of damage. You must realize, even if Trinity's wearing... Okay, I'm very close to her, so the further away I am, the less damage I'm going to do. But you must realize that even if Trinity's wearing a K6 helmet and a tactical armor, there's no armor for your legs. So if you shoot a person in the leg with a broadhead arrow, they're basically dead. Basically, okay. What is it? C2, C3?
C1.
Okay, it might have healed already. So the next time I shoot you, just tell me what caliber. I want to see how fast you're gonna bleed out. Okay. At least we'll be able to see the difference now, guys, because the broadhead metal arrow is not going to do more damage than a carbon broadhead, but we'll see the damage difference, and then we'll see, Do we leave them with a C2 or C3 where they're bleeding out? But basically, when you hit a person in the leg, they're going to limp. Okay? So I'm going to shoot her in the leg. I'm going to ask her to run at me to see if she can run. But first I'm going to shoot her. Then she's going to tell me what the damage is before she starts running at me. I'm going to shoot in the leg. She's going to tell me the damage, what caliber wound it is, whether it's C1, C2, or C3. And then she's going to try and run at me. And then, yeah, then you can figure out for yourself. Any other shot kills a fully armored person. One in the leg. And because broadhead carbon arrows ignores armor, the next shot kills the person. Okay, ready, Trinity?
Mm-hmm. Ready. $85.4.
85 leg, 85.4. Okay, so that's...
And it's a C1.
Okay. So they're not going to bleed out, so you're going to have to shoot them. And what I mean by shoot them, try and run at me. No, okay? She can't run. And even if I give her, even if I give her the armor, put this armor on. Even if I give her the armor, guys. Put the armor on for me, Trinity. Even if I give her the armor. Did you Phoenix dear?
No, not yet.
That did no damage.
No.
Okay. Okay, I know if I hit you in the head, you're dead. But, okay. The tactical protects you completely from the arrow. I know I'll kill her with a K6 helmet. No damage.
Still no damage.
Okay, guys, tactical is worth a lot, but put on the K6. So the next shot's going to have to be in the leg again, or in the arm, or in the head. What?
No change. Okay,
they've made changes. The helmet and the armor, the arrows used to, the broadhead arrows used to hit. Look at that, it's right through her head. The broadhead carbon arrows used to ignore the armor completely. But now she just survived and she's got an arrow right through her head. Okay. Even the shots in her chest, she's supposed to be dead because it penetrated her. This is fun. I want to see that again. I want to see that again. Oh no. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys learned something. I learned something. Stone-tipped arrows are the best at the start. Normal arrows are good, but you know, from wooden to stone is a massive upgrade. From stone to broadhead is a massive upgrade. Please don't try and shoot someone in the armor. Okay? Do not try and shoot them in the armor. It's not gonna work out for you. Aim for those legs. Okay? Aim for those legs. Because anywhere you shoot them down here, even if you shoot them in the feet. Okay, now I'm completely confused. How much did that do?
Well, it was hurt because I wasn't fully healed yet, but it was a C1.
Okay, guys, you're gonna have to hit the leg again. She's got her leg up. She can't even stand on the foot anymore.
My foot is glitchy.
Okay. Hope that helped you guys. I'll see you guys later. The broadhead arrows used to be overpowered. Now clearly the armor is overpowered. Later, guys. Cheers.